Hey, what is up, investors? Jason here. So I want to talk about something different that maybe not a lot of people on YouTube are even talking about, and that is the price difference of Bitcoin within bull rallies, because this is important information and probably would answer a lot of questions to people that are really confused about seeing Bitcoin at its high that it had back in November and seeing it at this current price right now, where we've seen the price actually retrace about 78% of its value at one point. So a lot of questions there that are asked, and I think that it's really smart to really look at these different price places with Bitcoin, judging from, let's say, the halving from July 9th of 2016 on into the halving that Bitcoin had on May 11th of 2020. Compare the rally from that halving into that rally, and then where the price ended up dipping after that rally, and then do the same thing with this most recent rally that we had with Bitcoin from the point of the halving in 2020 to now. So this is going to be very interesting. So if you don't mind, as we get to it, please do me a huge favor. Please be sure to smash, destroy, annihilate, or just gently press that like button. Help me out with the algorithm, help spread the content to more people that might find it interesting, and subscribe if you have not already. Now let's get to it. Now, for people that are not familiar, there will only ever be 21 million Bitcoin that will ever be mined. And so far to date, there have been a little bit more than 19 million that have been mined so far. So this leaves just under 2 million Bitcoin left to be created. Now, a little less than every 4 years, the Bitcoin protocol automatically reduces the number of new Bitcoin to be issued with each new block in this process that is called halving. So in this example, I'm going to show you guys the two different prices of Bitcoin from the halving from 2016 on into the halving of 2020, and show you guys the difference between these different bull runs and how low did the prices go. So starting first, we'll look at the halving that we had on July 9, 2016, when the price of Bitcoin was around $660. Now, over time, we eventually, from that point from 2016 on into the big bull rally that Bitcoin did have back then, leading into 2017 or the end of 2017, what we had seen was the price of Bitcoin had gotten to around $20,000 at its high. And then we ended up seeing a bit of Fibonacci retracement here, or a good amount of Fibonacci retracement, that even took the price of Bitcoin down below the 78% Fibonacci level. So what we're seeing here is that historically back then we were seeing a big decline within the price of Bitcoin even back then. And then after we had led into that next halving, what did we end up seeing? The halving from May 11th, 2020, we ended up seeing a big bull rally with Bitcoin that took us from that point in 2020 on into 2021. And just like we had seen at the end of 2017, after the halving in 2016, the same thing happened in 2021, where at the end of 2021, we saw Bitcoin reach its all-time high, which was a massive increase within the price, going from a price of around $9,100 in May 11th, 2020, all the way up to a high of around $70,000, a little bit less than $70,000 where it had run to. And then we had seen the price retrace below that 78% Fibonacci level. So very similar to like what we had seen back in the rally in 2017, at the end of 2017, and where we had seen a year after that point, we had seen a bottom within Bitcoin where we had seen the price drop down dramatically below the 78% Fibonacci level. So very similar situation what happened then as to what is happening now. And we're actually seeing even less Fibonacci retracement right now than we did back then. So it's possible that we could even see the price of Bitcoin dropping a little bit lower. I would hope not, but just to be realistic, there are those possibilities of something like that happening. Now, there's no guarantee exactly when the next Bitcoin halving date is going to be. We just know that it's going to be sometime within 2024. Now, many people are saying that it's probably going to be May the 4th of 2024. And it's just really Star Wars fans that are going for that, because the odds of it really having a specific date that you can guarantee is highly unlikely. And the reason is that each Bitcoin halving is after 210,000 blocks of Bitcoin are mined. Now, currently, as far as how many Bitcoin per block there are 6.25 Bitcoin per block. So the next halving, there is going to be 3.125 Bitcoin per block. And the difficulty within the hash rate can vary a lot with the time it is going to take for each block to be done. So what can happen is we can see blocks that can be completed within 8 minutes, that can be completed within 10 minutes, that can be completed within 15 minutes. The hash rate changes every 2 weeks with Bitcoin, the difficulty that is. Now, the crazy thing with Bitcoin is that it takes a ridiculous amount of computing power to be able to mine it. And if you think about the computing power that's going to take to mine Bitcoin 12 to even 16 years from now, when we're talking about fractions of a Bitcoin per block that is going to be available. So, I mean, one, the deflationary aspect of Bitcoin really makes you think right there. And not only that, the mining difficulty that is going to be at that time, there are not even machines available on the market right now that will even be able to do such a thing, because it already takes so much, and these are not cheap machines right now that are able to mine Bitcoin. Only imagine what it's going to be 12, 16 years from now, when there's a very minimal block reward for mining Bitcoin. So a lot of interesting things to really think about. And I hope that I provided some sort of knowledge for you guys in this video. I wanted to do something that wasn't just doing technical analysis and things like that, which if you are someone that follows my channel, I do even talk about the Bitcoin miners, which there are publicly traded companies with rigs that are 40,000, 50,000, even some getting ready to produce over 100,000 Bitcoin mining rigs just to mine Bitcoin. These are large operations and companies that I also talk about on this channel as well. I cover everything related to crypto here. So anyways, with that being said, though, I'd like to hear your guys' thoughts and opinions. And if you have not subscribed yet, please do consider and push that bell notification. I will see you all in the next one coming very soon. Thank you for watching and listening.